Yeah, welcome back, everybody. It is that time of the year when productivity at the office all across America, it plummets. And why? Well, because of two words: March Madness.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about that today with Greg and Kristen Taylor from Legacy Retirement Group. They are our retirement advisors and the hosts of the weekly retirement radio show here in town as well. Good to have you both here.
Good to be here.
Good to
And
be
Greg
here.
is not exempt from that, by the way. The other day he said, I'm going to close my door, no one come in and bother me. Well, I had a question for him. So I went in there, and what's he doing?
Filling out my bracket.
brackets. I'm like,
The important
seriously?
stuff. Come on.
You're not alone. But I bet yours is just as busted as everybody else.
Actually not. The only one of my Final Four teams that's not still in it is Duke. They got beat by South Carolina.
Wow,
but
then you are doing well.
Yeah, so I'm doing well. I still have a shot.
Don't get going on that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why, this is kind of a fun idea, why people are willing to put so much time and energy into their March Madness brackets. But when it comes to retirement, really, it's an afterthought.
It really is. And it's the same thing with vacations. We've talked about before.
Yeah.
People put a lot of time into planning a vacation and
Right.
instead of their retirement. You know, I think part of it, for me, I didn't do a bracket because it was like, I've got to coordinate all this stuff and I don't want to think about it.
And you don't know a lot about it, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. And so I think with retirement, it's the same thing. People,
Right.
you know, there's so much that they're thinking about that they need to do. They just don't do anything.
Right.
Well, part of it is it's fun to fill out a bracket and try to follow a team and see if you can win. And if you lose, what have you really lost? But
Yeah.
it's not that fun to try to figure out how to manage your finances and make sure you don't take big losses as you get towards retirement, or really at any time. Whoever really votes for big losses.
Right. But isn't it fun if you're involved in your retirement planning and it's going well and you're on top of it?
Well, it really is.
Absolutely.
And in knowing how to step back if you're not confident, you know, I wasn't quite sure this year because I hadn't really followed basketball a lot. So I actually did some research and I found that North Carolina had a 64.3% chance of winning. So they're the one that I have winning my bracket. So I did some research actually behind it. And a lot of people don't want to put in the time, or they're not quite sure how to put in the time to do the research to make sure that they're going to have a plan that makes sense, or sometimes they just don't know who to trust.
Well, numbers can be daunting to people, especially if you're not a numbers person.
Absolutely.
So I think that's part of it too. You know,
Well,
if
yeah.
you've had a fear, they could be childhood fears, you know, of
Yes.
math and such.
Yep. We had a lady come in just about a month ago now. She said, you know, I did the research before I called in even. I
Yeah.
saw you guys on TV, but I did research and I found 3 advisors that I was comfortable with the philosophies they shared.
Yeah.
She said, honestly, I don't want to know how to run my own finances. I just want to be able to trust who I'm
Well, that's
working
good.
with. So she researched, and then we were one of the 3 that she decided to come and visit with.
And once you select somebody, how often should you see a financial advisor?
At least once a year.
Okay.
So many things happen throughout the year, and
Okay.
just it's a good time to refresh. You know, I just met with a client yesterday for lunch, and she shared with me, she's been a client
For
almost
lunch,
2
you
years
guys
now.
talked for 3 hours.
Yeah, it was brunch. And she shared with me that she may be moving to Florida.
There you go.
So,
That's why
yep.
it's important.
It is.
We're going to offer real quickly, we're going to offer what today?
Our complete planning review. We want to make sure your bracket doesn't get busted in retirement and make sure that you're on track.
There you go. Call the number on your screen, 614-336-7660. If you happen to be approaching retirement here in the next 5 to 7 years or so, this would be a really
Yeah.
good opportunity
Yes.
for you. Thank you both for being here.
Good to be
You're
here.
Good to see you, and good luck with that bracket.